You are now looking at a fairly new Honda Jazz Sport in orchid white pearlescent. And in this short video, we hope to tell you things you won't find in the brochure of this oriental flower. So, let's deal with the sweatband-wearing elephant in the room first. This is not a deserving recipient of sport badges, which is why, and we had a jolly good look around our press unit, there's not a single sport badge to be found anywhere. We did stumble upon some rather tasty ingredients, but are they sporty? Like its wedgie profile? Maybe. Those sporty bumpers? Probably. The huge spoiler? Yeah, why not? An extremely lively engine and nippy handling? Most certainly. But it's the gearbox that lets the whole side down. While everything is slim and trim, this lazy bugger didn't just forget his gym clothes at home. Oh no, he lost the whole bloody bag. You see, this is a CVT, which stands for Continuously Variable Transmission. In simpler English, you could also call it an endlessly adaptable gearbox. The acronym for that would be a more apt EAG, or EEK. That's pretty much the noise this racy 1500 VTEC motor will make if you poke it with a stick. Observe. I know a couple of motoring journalists who are now squirming in their branded launch gift sneakers. Tell me when to stop. Oh, okay. Sorry. Now, before we go any further, I'll actually attempt to defend the hapless CVT, especially because in this case it's bolted to a fantastic little automobile. A staff member's wife once had a CVT. Well, she didn't, her Japanese crossover did. And after getting used to its unusual power delivery, we learned to crank up the radio and enjoy the uninterrupted wave of acceleration. I said unusual power delivery on purpose, because it's our firm belief that the tables could have easily been turned on people's hatred of this whiny transmission. Imagine for a minute that all automatic cars of the last few decades were CVTs. We were all used to them, and suddenly a multi-gear or stepped ratio autobox comes along. How we'd all bitch and moan. Oh no, what a terrible noise. And that sensation of interrupted gear changes. It's just awful. Surely you agree? But before I get too friendly with this toothless wonder, the CVT has been powering various Honda Jazzes for a few generations. A friend of mine once asked my advice, and I told him that, once you get used to its wicked ways, a CVT Jazz is actually a great pre-owned purchase. A couple of months later, the transmission broke. That ungrateful little sod. Have I been yakking on about the gearbox this whole time? I'm so sorry, but we're sure that none of this is part of Honda's shiny marketing blurb. For the record, the jazzy Japanese hatchback is a wonder of space and packaging. One of my neighbors once alleged that she could pile more kids in satchels in one of these than into her husband's Toyota Verso. Also, as a local observation, the Jazz usually costs more than the majority of its competitors, but also retains better value. It looks and feels like a cross between a minivan and a wedge-shaped K-car. Maybe because that's what it is. That sporty steering wheel has a lower section of gauze for reasons. The rear end features a shiny monobrow. Some of the bumper vents are fake. Not those ones. One front wiper is 10 times the size of the other. You also get an HDMI port for your Xbox. Someone made merry with the red contrast stitching. And there's no rotary volume knob. Rrr. Dear Honda, there are just two things you really need to do in order to make this the absolutely flawless pocket rocket that this Jazz Sport deserves to be. Give buyers the option of the 1.5 Elegance manual gearbox, and please throw away that click-click can of black alloy paint. There. Perfect.